All right, so today we're going to talk about something really cool. How you can take a super simple product, like say apple cider vinegar, and turn it into a real successful online business. If you've ever had that spark of an idea for a little online shop but got stuck on where to even begin, this one's for you.
You know that feeling, right? Maybe you're in your kitchen, you look at a jar of jam or a bottle of olive oil and think, hey, I could sell this? It's such a common dream, starting a simple little e-commerce store with a product you really care about. But then reality tends to kick in.
And this slide just nails it, doesn't it? The dream is so simple. You have a product, you build a website, and the sales roll in. But the reality? Whoa, suddenly you're just buried in all these details. With our apple cider vinegar example, you're asking about acidity levels, what in the world with the mother even means, and the biggest one of all, how do you get a total stranger online to trust you in what you're selling? It's exactly these details that make so many people just stop right there.
But here's the secret, and this is really the heart of what we're talking about today. You don't have to go head-to-head with the giant online stores. You're not trying to be the biggest. For a small seller, success isn't about scale at all. It's about clarity. So the real question becomes, how do you become the absolute clearest, most trustworthy choice for your specific customer?
So that leads us right into our first section, your one-sentence promise. See, before you even think about selling a product, you have to create a crystal clear offer, and it all boils down to one simple sentence.
And this is so important, right? Because look at this list. For just one product, you've got all these different kinds of buyers. You just can't sell to everyone. Are you talking to the everyday home cook who just wants something that works? Or the super health-conscious person digging into the ingredients? Maybe it's the foodie who's looking for amazing flavor. Choosing your person, your specific customer, is the first and honestly the most critical step you'll take.
Once you know who you're talking to, then you can craft your promise. And I love this phrase on the slide, boringly clear. This is not the time for clever, vague marketing slogans. Your promise is a tool. It's that one sentence that makes your ideal customer land on your site and immediately think, yes, this is the place for me.
Okay, let's look at a real example. This promise right here, it's speaking directly to that health-conscious shopper. The key words, small batch, clear ingredients, honest, are all about building trust and showing you have nothing to hide. It's simple, direct, and incredibly powerful.
Or how about this one? This is for the foodie or maybe the everyday cook. It's all about the actual use, kitchen first. And it solves a really common problem, right? That harsh, unpleasant taste some vinegars have. This promise immediately says, hey, this is the one you're actually going to enjoy using in your food.
And look at this last one. It is laser-focused on that natural living buyer. It uses their language, raw, unfiltered, with the mother, and it promises them an easy, straightforward experience. No confusion, no fuss, just the exact product they were already searching for. You can totally see how each of these is a perfect little magnet for a very different kind of person.
All right, on to section 2, details that build trust. So you've got your promise. Now the little details about your actual product become the way you prove it. This is where you back up your words and build real, solid trust with your customers.
This table is super helpful because it takes what could be confusing options and makes them simple. So if you're selling a raw, unfiltered vinegar, you've got to be upfront that, yeah, it might have some sediment, and that's normal. If it's a filtered one, you can talk about its clean, predictable flavor. For those flavored blends, you absolutely have to be crystal clear about every single ingredient. Being honest about these things right on the product page stops customers from getting confused and shows them you're a seller who actually knows their stuff.
And listen, you don't need to start with a massive inventory either. A small, intentional lineup like this is perfect. It covers all the bases. You've got a core product for your regulars, a premium option for people who want to treat themselves, a flavored blend that's great for gifts, and a bigger size for those who want a good value. It makes your shop feel intentional, curated, not just a mess of random products.
Okay, this next part is absolutely crucial. When you're selling something that has a lot of wellness chatter around it, you have to be so careful. The best strategy? Just stay in your lane. Talk about what you can prove, the taste, the ingredients, how to use it in a great salad dressing. You can explain what with the mother is from a factual standpoint, but you have to avoid making any kind of health claims. That can get you in a world of trouble. Your honesty is your best friend here.
Okay, so you've got your promise, you've got your product details nailed down. Now, where does it all live? Section 3 is all about creating that trustworthy online shop, that digital storefront where a customer decides in just a few seconds whether to trust you or to click away. Now, This stuff might seem pretty basic, but honestly, it makes all the difference. Just think about how you shop online. You want to see big, clear photos from every angle. You want descriptions that actually answer your questions. And you definitely want to know what shipping is going to cost you before you get to the final checkout page, right? All these little things send a huge signal that you're a professional and that a buyer can have confidence in you.
But let's be real. For a lot of us, this is the part that's just terrifying, right? The very idea of building a website, setting up credit card payments, and dealing with all the tech stuff is enough to make you want to give up. And that's a really, really common feeling.
And that's where something like a done-for-you service can come into play. The source material brings this up as a way to just skip all that tech headache. The whole idea is that for a set price, someone else handles the entire technical setup for you. That frees you up to focus on what you're good at, your product, instead of fighting with website code. It's one way to just remove that huge barrier. Okay, your shop is live. Now what? You need customers. Let's jump into section 4, marketing without the hype. We're going to look at a way to do this that's sustainable, that's focused on being genuinely helpful, and not on some constant, exhausting hustle. I mean, this chart right here says everything you need to know. What kind of content actually drives sales? Useful stuff, recipes, how-to guides. This is what builds your authority and brings in people who actually want to use your product. Chasing after viral trends with crazy miracle claims isn't just risky, it's also a terrible way to build a real, trusted brand for the long haul.
And the best part is, you don't have to do everything all at once. This timeline shows a really realistic, totally manageable path. You just start with simple, consistent actions. Your goal isn't to go viral tomorrow. It's to slowly build a relationship with your customers so that they trust you and want to buy from you again and again. That is how a small business really, truly grows.
Whew, okay, we have covered a ton of ground. So let's bring it all together in this final section, your launch checklist.
So here it is, your entire game plan, all on one slide. This brings everything we've talked about together. It starts with picking your niche and writing that promise, then moves to choosing a smart, small product range, writing those super clear product pages, and finally consistently posting helpful content. If you follow these steps, you have a really solid formula for a great launch.
So let's just bring it all home. Selling a product online, especially when you're just starting out, isn't really about just shipping boxes. It's about making a clear, simple promise to a specific kind of person and then using every single detail of your business to keep that promise. So the real question for you is, what's your promise going to be?